Hmm. Where do you stand, Sanjeev Srivastava?
So I find this all so amusing, Anand, because how does it matter as to the Americans have commented on Kejriwal's arrest, Germans have said, our foreign ministry has called their embassy officials and given them a dressing down, and we have been fed about US official got a 45-minute dressing down, German official was so shown the door back in 5 minutes. So these are games. At the end of the day, how does it? I frankly don't think that it really matters to a lot of Indians what the US has said. On the other hand, I also find it so amusing because when we can go ahead, our prime minister can say, "Ab ki baar Trump sarkar." We can host Trump and literally be seen as campaigning for Trump's candidature for presidency, and then we have this innocence or cheek or this upfront to say why is somebody interfering. We have interfered or kind of given our opinion on the biggest exercise of all, that is the elections. So whether Kejriwal is guilty or he is innocent is something you and I really don't know. That is for the courts to decide. But what one finds very odd is that on the cusp of elections, after model code of conduct has been announced, when leaders are supposed to be campaigning, you have these actions. Well, this is the new Bharat. Let's put it like that.
Just want to say that Prime Minister Narendra Modi never said "Ab ki baar Trump sarkar." Prime Minister Narendra Modi in that speech very clearly said that when you campaigned the last time around, Trump was seeking the election. So when your campaign slogan in the Indian diaspora in US had been "Ab ki baar Trump sarkar," he never came out and said that I am pitching for another thing. So the Prime Minister,
you may be absolutely right.
I'm just saying that the Prime Minister's actions have been Prime Minister's actions have been misquoted. The other aspect is I don't see anywhere Bharat openly naming Xi Jinping, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, or any other nation's leader and commenting on their internal jurisdiction, legal progress or the judicial process.
So have the US and Germans named Prime Minister Modi?
There has been about the current government and what's happening in the current government and various leaders. I'm just saying there was a specific question to
US and German
specific question. Has Bharat ever said that whatever is happening in the US is deeply concerning about the collapse of the entire system there and the open targeting of the opposition and the brazen target? Bharat has never said all of that. US has repeatedly made these comments. Yes, they do use it as a diplomatic tool, which Abhijit Iyer Mitra said, that we should also reciprocate in the same manner. We, on a concentrated position, choose not to do it unless absolutely necessary, as it came with Canada and Khalistan, etc. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
Hi, Anand, and a big hello to my fellow panelists. I want to first state that, of course, I agree with what Abhijit has said. We don't go far enough. I mean, just to give you one example, China, along with the rest of the world and all those people, they accuse us of being anti-minority, anti-Muslim all the time. Has India ever quoted the fact that right now 1.5 million Muslims are interned in Chinese concentration camps, are being forced sterilized and being fed pork? Has India said this? India should say this. So I am with Abhijit on this. But now let me come to the whole thrust of the topic, because that is what is important. And Sanjeev has said, and I'm quoting him, he said, "Jo emergency mein ho raha tha, wo bhi abhi ho raha hai." So please, can I just speak facts out here for the next couple of minutes? Because this is the fact. At every step of the way, Anand, in the excise liquor scam, I'm going to take just that example because that is the pertinent one. In every step of the way, in this excise liquor scam case, including the investigation and prosecution by the agencies, the judiciary is involved and is expressly overseeing the entire case. So to say whatever was happening in the emergency is happening right now. In fact, the misinformation, fake narrative, and deliberate muddying of waters is being done by the Kejriwal side. Let me explain. Minister Atishi yesterday claimed that the High Court in its order has raised serious questions about the political motive behind the arrest and its illegality. This is deliberate misinformation and could be held as contempt of court. Because let me now quote from the High Court order itself, quote, "The petitioner has also raised serious and critical questions before the court and stated that this court, being a constitutional court, must apply its mind to the motive behind the arrest, which is patently illegal and has a direct bearing on the democratic process of impending elections in the country. The present petition raises several issues of legality and validity regarding the arrest and remand of the petitioner. Additionally, it questions whether the arrest may be politically motivated and malafide," unquote. clearly, the High Court is quoting Kejriwal's petition and is not making a statement of its own accord. So please, this needed to be said. Number two, Supreme Court, has it not said, Anand, that bail is a rule and jail is an exception? Why then, I ask, if we are staying in an emergency, has bail been denied to the AAP ministers implicated in the liquor scam? In fact, let me now quote from the Supreme Court order, because I'm here to just give facts of 2 months ago. Quote, the excess amount of 7% commission earned by the wholesale distributors of 338 crores constitute an offence as defined under Section 7 of the POC Act. These are proceeds of crime. This figure cannot be disputed or challenged. The new excise policy was meant to give windfall gains to select few wholesale distributors who in turn had agreed to give kickbacks and bribes, unquote. 3, for all those who are saying that we are in emergency, the ED is using draconian provisions, let me inform them that each and every provision has been vetted by the Supreme Court 3-judge bench and not only ratified, but also underlined and stamped. For example, reverse burden of proof is now to stay. It is not mandated to give ECIR. Bail is to be made extremely stringent. Money laundering is now to be considered as heinous as terrorism. Attachment of property is to be allowed. Statements made to the ED are to be made admissible. Number 4, this is the coup d'etat, if I can say this. Once 3 ED summons are ignored, by law, the ED is to serve a non-bailable warrant for the arrest of the person who has been ignoring the ED summons. Arvind Kejriwal ignored 9 summons, Anand. Is he someone special or is he an Aam Aadmi? So the facts completely run contrary to the assertion that we are staying in an era of emergency that was for 50 years ago.
Is Arvind